Welcome in, Virgo. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you that are new, welcome in, guys. My name's Lisa. For those of you returning, welcome back. I did want to give a big shout out to those of you who take the time to like or comment, subscribe. Definitely, helps the videos get out. So again, thank you so much for those of you that do that. As well, if you're interested in a personal read, I do them. Just reach out to me. My email address is in the description box of this reading, as well on my homepage, and it's just sayitsoultarot@gmail.com. So this is going to be your June general love reading for the month of June. Again, don't be dissuaded by the timestamp. If you're drawn in by the title and it's not June anymore, hopefully there's a message there for you. There's a reason for that. So as always, guys, though, general reads, just always keep that in mind. Cross watchers, feel free to swap sides or energies. So I did already pull your oracle cards. Virgo, you're on my left, your person is on the right, but again, feel free to swap sides if it feels like it resonates the other way around. So I'm going to dive on in here. I'm going to walk you through your oracle cards, walk you through your person's oracle cards, and then I will pull some tarot, get some feelings, actions, and some messages from your person's higher self at the end of the reading. So definitely stay tuned for that. All right, so definitely looks like right now things are difficult. I feel like things have been difficult for Virgo for quite some time, which, I'm sure you don't want to hear about it. But I do feel like for a lot of you, getting to the root of a matter with a person, the person on your mind here, has been kind of like first and foremost. I feel like for a lot of you, you may have definitely tried to make things work time and time again with this person, and you're getting the end of a tough cycle approaches full moon in Capricorn. You might be dealing with a Capricorn. You might have Capricorn, like a strong Capricorn placement in your chart as well. Doesn't have to be, but that's the energy coming through. So it looks like things between you and this person are changing. And I feel like they are changing for the better. I feel like you are really exhausted. I feel like you've been going back and forth in your mind here about, trying to determine whether or not you and this person can really ever get back on the same page or be in the same place. Or so yeah, I said that for a reason. So some of you, maybe your person travels for work, so it's very hard for the two of you to spend time together. And actually, as I say that, you got actually the community card. So either you or your person might spend a lot of time outside of the home, volunteering, or mentoring, coaching, teaching, something along those lines. So maybe the two of you, that was maybe one of the causes of the demise or the breakdown of your relationship. Somebody being away, needing to travel for work as well for some of you. So now I feel like, with this friendship card coming out again, if there's, obviously if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody or married to somebody, maybe you're really deciding that, you're better off as friends than you are as, romantic partners. I think actually in your last reading, I think the title was something about you and this person being fundamentally different, really actually having different goals. Maybe when you first got together with this person, you had the same goals, you were on the same page, but I feel like you and this person have really kind of grown apart, if I'm being honest. I'm really being drawn into the two arrows in this card, and they're in different directions. So I feel like, again, you and this person have been moving in different directions. And, sometimes we stay in a relationship because it's familiar, you have kids, it's easy. But at the end of the day, it's really not feeling that fulfilling for you, and or, probably as well for your person. So I feel like you are exhausted. You take a nap, time for a nap. I feel like you've been I wanted to clarify this card before I started your reading because, I'm just trying to understand it. And you got the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands together and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like, perhaps you're not looking at each other in the same way anymore with that Ten of Wands. It's exhausting. For some of you, you might have gone to counseling. Not everybody, but again, if you haven't got to counseling, this is just you and this person going over and over and over again about the issues and feeling overwhelmed, feeling like, um, you know, they're not getting it, you're not getting it, nobody's really getting their point across here. And again, feeling frustrated, like I'm kind of done, talking about this conversation. I need a break. I don't want to talk about this anymore. So I do feel like, talking about the issues with this person has been a lot, right? Or your issues together has been overwhelming for you. And I just feel like you really need a break right now. So for some of you, it's funny because you actually got the zebra card. And so I read about the zebra card, and really that talks about, being creative, being free, having some freedom, really focusing in on, having an adventure, doing something for yourself. So I feel like in the month of June, if you have a chance to, maybe go on a guy's trip or a girl's trip, Spirit's encouraging you to do that, just to get away, do something fun for yourself here with the zebra card. And as well, I'm getting, obviously the zebra is black and white. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's very simple what needs to change or what didn't change, what should have changed, or what you really wanted changed in this relationship with this person. It's very clear. I feel like you've been very clear. I mean, Virgos are very, kind of logical and very structured, right? So to you, I feel like the answer has been simple all along. And I don't feel like you and this person have been on the same page about that. Um, and I feel like that's definitely one of the fundamental differences probably between you and this person for sure. So this person might have a hard time really seeing your perspective, I want to say. So let's talk about your person here. Um, this person definitely is a little bit insecure here. They do have some insecurities about, feeling good enough. So I don't know. For some of you, there could have been, even when you met each other, there could have been a difference in, background, you know, um, maybe, even just financial for some of you. Somebody's family could have been a lot more well off than the others. Um, and again, this person always feeling inadequate in some way in your eyes, like they can't measure up. So that weighs on this person, Virgo. And, that's really, when this person, I feel like they are kind of projecting their own insecurities on you. And I don't know, maybe this person has, really let you down so many times that it's hard for you to, yeah. Now, as I say that, that's funny that I say that because the Queen of Wands is kind of like, she's not looking at the King of Wands. She's kind of looking past the King of Wands. So I don't feel like you look at this person in the same way anymore. And obviously not. If you're getting the friendship card here, I feel like that passion or that attraction to that person maybe is just really gone now. And pardon me. Maybe for some of you, it kind of reminds me of that song, you know, um, that Love and Feeling song about, I just can't really get back to that loving feeling. So, maybe check out that song. I'm really aging myself by mentioning that song, but all good. I'm not that old, guys. Age is just a number. So definitely looks like there's been a lot of conflict on the home front with your person, a lot of arguing, like we talked about. And I feel like I mentioned already, you're exhausted here, Virgo. But this person has a deep knowing. So I'm going to pull a card on this because I kind of want to learn more about what this person is thinking. But definitely a lot of chaos and conflict at home, a lot of arguing, maybe about the home. Maybe if you and this person are like not together anymore and you've already decided that you and them are better off as being friends than being, in a marriage per se. Perhaps some of you are arguing about, selling the house, something along those lines. Maybe you're still living together. Or there is some, assets that need to be divided, you know. Your person's coming through as the stingray. This person in the past definitely was lacking, either some morality, a backbone, truth telling. So I feel like this person definitely stung you, Virgo, more than once. I mean, I think there's 7 chakras on here. So this, again, repeating patterns, repeating negative behavior uh, between you and this person not really learning their lesson. And again, I feel like to you, it was pretty black and white what they needed to do or change for the two of you possibly to stay together. And I feel like this person now might be trying to do that, but I do feel like it's a little bit, it's kind of too little too late is really what I'm getting. And with that stingray card, this person really needs to work on themselves. I feel like you know that, they know that. And again, I feel like you're exhausted talking about it. So I feel like for a lot of you, maybe it really is time to kind of close out this chapter with this person. Not easy to do, especially if you have kids involved and family, friends, it's a big decision, right? So let's talk about, and actually, sorry guys, the bottom of the Moonology deck as well was conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. We're not going to have another eclipse season, I believe, until September, till your birthday time. So perhaps by that time, there'll be a decision made about this home situation. For some of you, might be waiting for the fall for some reason. And then really cutting away, the things that are not working. This is the underlying of there are no coincidences deck. And really starting to plant a seed someplace new. So for some of you, definitely might be moving as well with this home situation. And, kind of like putting your feet in the ground someplace else. Starting new someplace else. So I don't know, maybe some of you might have a job opportunity, and you want to take it. This relationship hasn't really been working for you, and you're deciding to go on that adventure, right? To see what happens, see where it takes you. So, again, Spirit's encouraging you to do that with that zebra card. So let's get some deets here on how this person is feeling about you, Virgo, and then I'll take a look at your feelings. I also want to pull a card on that deep knowing. I'm trying to remember to do that. Sorry, sometimes I get sidetracked. All right. How is this person feeling about my Virgos, please? Spirit angels and guides, Archangel Michael. Deepest, honest feelings, this person for Virgo. How does this person really feel about Virgo? Four of Cups. This person feels rejected by you. They know they disappointed you. Tell me more. Two of Swords. Something you're not aware of. Hold on. They know that the two of you need to make a decision about, walking away. Anything else? Perhaps you and this person have, been on multiple breaks, tried to work things out. Can I get another card on this person's feelings? Eight of Swords. So 2 8s in a row. Maybe look up 8 8. We'll see if we get another 8 coming out in your reading. This person, has felt trapped in this situation. Something you don't know is that I feel like this person has wanted to walk away as well, but again, not really, speaking their truth, kind of grasping at straws I'm getting from this person. And, maybe this person didn't want to tell you that either. I feel like you and this person are actually on the same page about, both wanting to be free of this situation. It's been taxing. Nobody's really happy here, I feel. Or that happiness, that loving feeling, you just can't really get that back. So, why do you want to keep spinning your wheels in a situation where you're not feeling fulfilled? I feel like this person knows they can't meet you where you're at here, Virgo. They can't, they've tried to kind of rise to the occasion or rise to meet you kind of where you're at, and they've been unable to do that. So again, a lot of disappointment. This person knows they've really disappointed you. So, maybe at the end of the day here, the best thing to do here is to, unchain yourself from each other, let each other, be free. Let's ask about this deep knowing card now. Tell me about this deep knowing card. What's this deep knowing card for Virgo's person? Two of Wands. Really talks about needing to make a decision. Knight of Swords. Three of Wands. I feel like this person's actually, has a fair amount of kind of resentment, kind of anger, defensiveness. I get one more card. Yeah, this kind of gives me the energy of like, whatever I do or I try, whenever I make decisions, like it's almost like not good enough for this person, like we already talked about, not feeling good enough for you. So, this person, I feel like this person, sorry guys, I'm just looking at these cards here. It's caused a lot of, there's kind of like always been some sort of block between you and this person. Like, what I'm feeling is, yeah, even when in the beginning of this relationship, I feel like when you met this person, Virgo, I feel like maybe a lot of people told you, like, this isn't your person. Um, and I feel like there's maybe been a part of you that's kind of known that all along, you know? The seven minus the two of wands is the five of wands. So I feel like even in the beginning of this relationship, there was a lot of chaos, a lot of conflict, possibly a lot of people kind of like in your ear. So I do feel like, even with that community card coming out, you might have a pretty large group of like, I feel like you're very close with your friends and your family. And those people definitely may have chimed in a long time ago. And again, this person's angry that, you know, whatever they do is kind of like not good enough. Again, on some level. So again, I'm getting that message. So it kind of gives me the indication here that this person's kind of been made to feel that way the whole time you've been together. This person has never really measured up. Like this person has disappointed you, maybe in the choices that they've made along the way, or things that they've done or said, or and again, not feeling like it's enough for you. Like it's just not enough. It's never enough. And this deep knowing that the decision, you know, that you and them ended up together or getting married or being in a long-term relationship with each other, it was a decision that, like it shouldn't have happened. Like like you and this person shouldn't have, maybe got together or got married or so there's always kind of been this feeling like they would never measure up. So I feel like on some level here, This person feels, Virgo, that the expectations that were put on them from the get-go, or your expectations, were unrealistic given what you knew about this person. And, I feel like they're kind of angry about it, or like a little bit bitter about it. Like, you knew who I was when we got married, so why are you, um, you know, complaining about that now? You knew, I like to party, or I like to, spend a lot of time with my friends, or like I wanted to travel, and, you know, um, so it kind of gives me that energy right off the get-go. And something, maybe that's true, Virgo. Maybe the expectations that you had for this person or this relationship were unrealistic. And I mean, that happens, sometimes you meet somebody, you get swept up in, how you feel about this person. Oh, I really want to marry them, even though, there's a ton of possibly some red flags that I do feel like your family and your friends were in your ear. Um, and I don't know, maybe that's been not the greatest influence, Virgo, like a lot of people chiming in on what it is that you should be doing or changing or saying to your person, or, oh, they shouldn't be doing that, you know, and then that you taking on that information, and then, saying it to your person. And just that just kind of creates like other people are coming into your relationship and causing problems. So I do feel like that has happened in this situation between you and your person. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be asking for, family and friends advice, but I feel like sometimes if you take their advice and not really think things through, um, that's where you can kind of find yourself in trouble, right? Is that, you're doing what everybody else thinks you should be doing. What should you be doing? What do you want to do, Virgo? What do you want to do? You know? Um, do you want to be with this person? Do you want to end things with this person? And at the end of the day, the only person you need to answer to is you. So, yeah, if I can give you any advice, that would be it. Let's get a card here on the Stormy card. What's the Stormy card here in Virgo's person's energy? The Stormy card. Whoa, Three of Pentacles. So it fell on its side. So that tells me that, there hasn't been a lot of cooperation. Maybe you haven't really been wanting to really spend time with this person, or hear this person out. And like I mentioned, this Queen of Wands, you're like looking right past this person. I almost feel like you're like have your, I don't mean to laugh, that you have your fingers in your ear, kind of like la 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 la, like kind of like that. Like, yeah, how many times are we going to have the same conversation? But I feel like you have been a little bit uncooperative, or, and again, if this person has told you, yes, Virgo, I'm going to try and change, I'm going to try and work on this, I'm going to try and work on that, I don't feel like they have, or like they really haven't shown up or been able to make the changes that, this relationship really needed for it to survive another day. So let's get some actions here. Actions from this person towards Virgo. I do feel like there is going to be an argument here in June about not being, this person's definitely could be accusing you of not wanting to work things out, not being cooperative. Again, nothing being good enough for you, Virgo. So, yikes. All right, let's see about this person's actions. Actions from this person towards Virgo in June, Spirit. What does Virgo need to know? You have the King of Cups coming out. Queen of Swords. The Hierophant. All right. This really gives me the energy of like, all right, Virgo, if you really don't care about me, then I'm just going to move on. I've learned my lesson here. I'm just going to do what I want. That's really what's coming through here. So, like I said, this person's a little bit angry here, Virgo, that they've been trying and I feel like they haven't really been making any progress with you about working things out or working together. So now this person is really in the energy of like, it's clear to me that you just want to move on from this, this marriage. So, I'm going to take my Ace of Wands here and have a new start somewhere else, you know. So I don't know. For some of you, if this person, stepped out, was unfaithful in some way, it looks to me like this is what this person is doing. They're basically saying, well, Virgo, if you really don't love me anymore, then it's best to move on from this marriage, this relationship. If you're not really willing to work on it, we both deserve to, be excited. I don't feel like you're passionate about saving this relationship or this marriage anymore. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm gonna clarify that Hierophant card and the Ace of Wands. Can you tell me more? I just want to make sure that that's what the message is here from Spirit. Tell me about the Hierophant and the Ace of Wands, because that's really what I'm getting. The Hierophant and the Ace of Wands, Spirit. Can you tell me more? And the Chariot. Nine of Cups. The High Priestess. Eight of Wands. Yeah, if this really isn't what you want, then speak your truth here. Speak up. Make a decision here. We have the Lovers. Yeah, I'm not going to stay. Make a choice. Either we're working on it or we're not. Two of Pentacles going back and forth here. Three of Swords, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands. Yeah, either we're on the same page or we're not. And if we're not, then somebody needs to take control. And it's funny, I just saw the Emperor, and the Emperor was actually the bottom of my mini deck. So they really are in the energy here of, kind of calling you out here, Virgo. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for a pretty heated June. A lot of discussion about the home situation, where you guys are going, what you're doing. And, if I feel like be prepared to hear this person say to you, if this isn't really what you want and this isn't really making you happy, then speak up, right? Eight of Wands is, communication. Like, speak your truth here, the High Priestess. Just say it out loud. Which kind of reminds me, there's a song, it was by an American Idol winner. Yeah, Alejandro. Anyway, the song is called Out Loud. So maybe look up that song, because that's really what I'm getting. It's a beautiful song. It really just talks about speaking your truth and how sometimes it's so hard to say those words out loud. So that might help you. There might be a message in there in that song for you. Beautiful song. I really like him. Anyhow, definitely look that up. So yeah, so it definitely looks to me like there is going to be, you're going to have a better idea here. I feel like things are really coming to a close here for you, Virgo, by the end of June. Some pretty heated, heavy conversations. And again, I feel like you're going to be exhausted. So I don't know, maybe in July when this is wrapped up, go on that vacation. Do something special for yourself. Again, have a girls' trip, or go away with your kids. If you have kids, go do something fun just with them without this person. And just go have some fun. Take some time for yourself. Take a nap. Virgo, you definitely deserved it. And again, trying to, start a new path, plant a new seed somewhere else, outside of the situation with this person is really what it's looking like to me. But, at the end of the day here, Virgo, you have free will. So does your person. So, feelings could change. To me, really, tarot is just a snapshot. So a snapshot in time. It does, there is some predictive qualities for sure. But at the end of the day, if I did this reading in a week from now, I definitely could get different cards, right? But for right now, it definitely looks like things, you and this person are moving in two very different directions. I don't feel like either one of you really want to work on this relationship anymore. So I feel like, at the end of the day, you need to follow your heart, do what's best for you and your family, your kids, for yourself, what's going to bring you joy. And if it isn't this person, it's just not this person anymore. Yeah. So let's get some messages from this person. Usually in this kind of reading, I really don't like pulling these, but I will anyway. We'll see what comes out. All right, messages to Virgo from this person, please. Messages to Virgo. There's something Virgo may not know. I mean, if you've been with this person, you probably already know Virgo, but let's see. All right, you've triggered me. Yeah, I feel like this person is feeling rejected by you, Virgo, whether, it's intentional or not. The bottom of the deck is, I can't make a decision. So I feel like this has been you and this person for a while. Other messages for Virgo here. Sorry, guys, this deck's so big I have to split it in half. All right, messages for Virgo. Drama coming out. Lots of, definitely a lot of arguing. All right, we have, don't treat me the way you do. I don't deserve it. So again, there's that kind of feel sorry for me energy from this person. Not feeling good enough. And I don't know, Virgo, I feel like at the end of the day here, we have, they don't hurt me. I feel like at the end of the day here, you're not responsible for, fixing this person or making them feel worthy. That comes, from within. So I'm not surprised that your person showed up here as the stingray, because I feel like this person has a lot of growing to do. They need to do some self-reflection, I feel like this person really could benefit from talking to somebody. I feel like this person has difficulty seeing anything from anyone else's perspective other than their own. Yeah. And that, kind of makes me sad actually, because I feel like at the end of the day, as much as you care about somebody and love somebody and you wish things could be different or you wish they could change, that person really needs to want to change. And I feel like in this relationship that you've had with this person, Virgo, you've hoped and, probably prayed that things could change, that this person would grow into the potential possibly that you saw in them when you first, got together with this person. But I feel like this person has really fallen short. And that's been disappointing. But at the end of the day as well, you kind of have to look at what your expectations were and were they realistic. And yeah, which is a hard thing to do, especially after you've spent a lot of time, love, energy into this person, into this relationship, into this marriage, to see it, come apart like this, right? But I do feel like you don't really see this person in the same light, like that loving feeling is gone and it's not coming back. So I feel like at the end of the day, you're making a good decision for yourself, or you're going to make a good decision for yourself for your long-term happiness. So, I'm proud of you, Virgo. Not easy thing to do for sure. And again, at the end of the day, you got to listen to your heart, listen to where it's guiding you and what you feel like you really need to do. But I do encourage you to speak your truth. And I feel like in June, that is going to be, you're going to be asked to do that. So you've been avoiding this conversation. It looks like it's happening. So, but I feel like, you're going to come out on the other end of this, Virgo, a lot happier. And, it's going to be a brand new day for you. So I do love that for you, because I feel like it's been a long time coming. All right, guys, I'm going to end your reading here. Sorry, it's been really long. Anyway, take care of yourself, and hopefully I'll see you in your mid-month